Few things on this earth humble me more than massive anxiety spikes. What's going on, guys? My name is Noah. This is an old school style video in that it's just a life update. I don't want to do any editing. I want to speak freely. I want to ramble. I want to go on tangents. I want to just deep dive into what I've been up to, my recent spike in anxiety, how that affected me, just where I'm at right now. So if you're here for that and you're down for that, I'm so glad. Otherwise, I hope you find some content on the channel that suits your needs. But this is like a low-key old school video. The foundation of this channel was literally just me opening up to you guys about my life. I didn't know if I was ever going to recover from depression, so I used this as a platform to hopefully find someone who understood. And I don't want to ever lose sight of that. At the end of the day, I'm just another person trying to do his best, just like you, to have reasonable happiness and to overcome certain things that are difficult, like anxiety and depression. And 2 weeks ago, my anxiety spiked, and it was on the heels of a really good couple weeks, arguably the best couple weeks mental health wise I have had as an adult, which I'm so thankful for. Let me tell you how it manifested, because it plays into a looping pattern about myself. And one of the cool things that I can do, one of the ways I can leverage you guys in a really amazing way, is I can share as honestly as possible and then get feedback from people that have been kind of examining my behavior, listening to my updates, checking in on me for years. You guys see me in a way that I do not see myself, which is good. A lot of you can be super objective and just, hopefully feel safe enough to tell me about your stories or give me some feedback or whatever. So I appreciate that. But I've learned some crazy things about myself because of this recent anxiety spike. So a couple weeks ago, I started noticing that my mouth was getting more dry than usual. And I noticed it in my workouts. I'm someone who works out all the time. It's a big part of my sense of wellness, my self-esteem, my mental health recovery. I really, really have committed to that process. And I was working out and my mouth was getting more dry and I was like, I'm someone who's very body conscious. I was like, this is weird. Why is my mouth so dry? And I immediately felt some angst about it. Started drinking extra water, kind of worrying a little bit. Why is my mouth dry? But, I've had some experiences in the past with dry mouth, maybe in competition or when I was nervous about something, whatever. The point is, after a couple of weeks, the dry mouth persisted, and I started to feel this extra dry feeling in my tongue, a sensation I might liken to burning your tongue or something. I just felt like there was like some pain on my tongue. I thought I might have a sore on my tongue, so I had my wife check my tongue. I was telling her about this weird dry mouth, and she could see that I was getting more and more quiet. I'm a pretty outspoken person when I'm in a good space. I like to talk. I like to communicate. I like to be joyful whenever possible. But I just got quiet for a couple weeks, and she could tell. And I kept looking at my tongue in the mirror. And long story long, here's what happened. Here's what happens to my psyche when I don't know what's happening to me or when I feel a lack of control. When I get fearful, I get very, very obsessive. And the way I obsess is that I go to the worst case possible scenario. Have you ever heard the expression or heard the word fear broken down as an acronym? False evidence appearing real? Well, I took to Google like I used to do, and like, quite frankly, I try extremely hard not to do, to figure out what was wrong with me. Why is my mouth dry? Why do I feel like I can't taste as well? Am I losing my taste? Is there something wrong with my tongue? Why does my tongue feel fat? Can I breathe? Maybe I can't breathe okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Chest gets tight. Head gets hot. Worry sets in. Productivity goes down. Depression goes up. Sleep gets disturbed. Workouts get worse. Social interactions get worse. And before I know it, I'm despairing. And I'm looking for a diagnosis, and I'm finding things that scare me even worse. Hearing stories about burning mouth syndrome, burning tongue syndrome. Starting to legitimately convince myself that something serious is wrong. I may never taste again. how sad that will be, how important food is to me, how I'm trying to take good care of myself, blah, blah, blah. Catastrophic thinking overtakes me. And once I realized what I was doing, it took a while because these are deep-rooted habitual behaviors for me. So I had to stop and I had to ask myself, what is going on with, like, what's happening right now? How much of this is true? How much of this is regressive, scared Noah behavior? Childlike Noah behavior that I don't want to participate anymore in. And it turns out it was a lot of it. I seek validation when I get scared. I don't know if you guys do that, but I do. But outside of getting some immediate validation and just letting people know I'm having a bit of a hard time, it feels so good to be consoled a bit. It can be dangerous for me to do that because what I've found in the past when I get obsessive like this or worried or body conscious or become a hypochondriac or engage in that tendency, nothing satisfies me. Nothing satisfies me. And it goes back to something I've shared with other people on this channel quite a lot, which is that your mind can't heal your mind. Like, your broken mind can't heal your damaged brain. Something like that. The point is, when I rely too much... What's up? What's up? Oh, that's a good reminder. When I rely too much on my own thinking to get me out of situations or to fix things, I tend to fall into patterns and traps. So I breathed. I started doing the things that I've really learned how to do for prevention, for self-care, and for action. So I started meditating more, breathing more, setting up a time frame that if this persisted, be it psychosomatic or not, which means whether or not I was creating whatever this was in my head, or if there was something legitimate going on, that I would put an end date on when I would go see someone. I would go get some professional opinions on this. I wouldn't just sit, stew, fester, and freak. And then I would continue to do the next best thing, which meant I wouldn't let the sense of fear just stifle me and cripple me to not going to my workouts, to not taking good care of myself, to not sticking to my morning routines, to my reading, to all the things that are important to me. I had to really focus on getting outside of self, but it was scary, and I'm doing much better now. It's amazing how fast I go there. And something else I wanted to talk about in regards to this, like, couple weeks of massive anxiety, which really hurt my mood, which really hurt my energy, which really scared me, which is just amazing that I go there so fast, is that I think I have PTSD, and I'm going to do a separate video on this because it's something I'm learning more about, and I want to deep dive with you guys. But once this started to feel a bit better, and I'm not sure it's totally gone, whatever it is, but it's basically gone. Once at least my anxiety and stress over the matter got better, I realized that I have triggers. I guess that's not a huge epiphany, but I was taken back to that Vivitrol shot. If a lot of you guys don't know my story, the way I bounced into my first major mental breakdown when I was 25 was a rare reaction to a shot I took. I had an adverse reaction to a medication. And I'm so scared of going back to that place that I think just feeling like weird sensations in my body anywhere, they make me feel vulnerable. They make me feel afraid that something's happening that I can't fix, or that something's going wrong with me, because I just felt so damaged and broken for so long. I really do want to deep dive into that more, because it's a real thing. I think I flashed back to being hospitalized for my rhabdomyolysis for a week, not sure if my kidneys are going to hold on. Scared. The good thing about this experience, though, as opposed to the last couple, is that I know I've been doing the right things. I've been taking really, really good care of myself. I put a huge premium on being good to myself, mind, body, and soul these days. These last few months, I've never been so mindful, thoughtful, and respectful of me ever. And so that did make getting out of this anxious state much easier. It did give me some relief, as opposed to in the past, I was like, oh, I'm living like shit. I'm treating myself terribly. My self-esteem is poor. I'm not growing. I'm not learning. I'm not being responsible with myself. And look at how I'm suffering. It's like, oh, okay. You're freaking out. This is obviously a deep-rooted, looping, habitual thing for you. being body fearful, always thinking something's wrong with you, you can work through this in a positive, healthy way because you've got rituals, habits, and structure that's going to help you, and you know who you are more today than ever before. And I can be an adult, you know. I can be calm. I can focus. I can take care of that inner child that gets so scared. That's another thing I've been working on a lot, is taking care of that inner child that gets so scared, being the responsible adult that I know that I am. And then I have you guys to bounce it off of. And you know, I guess that's it. That's it. It's just, I really wanted you to know, for whatever it's worth, I think, well, let me finish that sentence. I wanted you to know that I still for sure can struggle with sudden onset of anxiety and depression and hopelessness. It can really hit me hard. And that's part of life. There are ups and downs. Like I said, it was on the heels of a really good 2-week stretch. And I'm doing much better now. You know, I'm doing much better now. But I have faith that I'm going to be okay. I have faith that I'm more comfortable and confident getting lost in the solution than staying in that problem these days. And that's amazing. And I really appreciate your guys' time letting me do this. Like the fact that I know that, oh man, I can share with my audience, my friends, my online community, what's going on with me. And I so look forward to reading your comments and hearing your stories. I'm sure, I know for a fact, I'm not the only one that deals with this sort of thing. But I love that I can do that. I mean, that's powerful to me. I feel very lucky for that. And yeah, I always need to make sure you guys see the humanity in me. I always need to make sure you guys see the faulty person that I really am, and how I'm just out here doing my best. And I hope you are too. And when we're up, we share when we're up. And when I'm down, I want you to know that, yeah, I was down. I was not in a good space there. And my wife and friends could tell. But I got through it. And that's the message, right? Just keep walking forward. Keep seeking counsel. Keep doing as you're told. Take suggestions, and you're going to be okay. And I'm okay. And it's not a huge deal. But you guys ever had that though? Sudden dry mouth, like a weird feeling on your tongue. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Otherwise, that's mainly the only real life update I have for you guys. YouTube seems to be going really well. My self-care, my sobriety, all these things seem to be going really well. My relationship with my wife seems to be going really well. We might, talk about some other stuff in a different update video, but I just wanted to focus on my recent anxiety spike, kind of how it affected me, how I got through it, Just stay level with you guys in that department. Check in with me in the comment section below. Thank you so much for letting me vent and share. And man, the take home here, guys, is to make sure you have a routine. Like, I'm so glad I've got routine, structure, commitments. I have a multitude of positive things in my life to keep me focused when I get turned inside. When I start looking in and getting freaked, it's like I have a plan. The ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure model of living is real. So I knew what to do because it's what I do when I feel good. And that's why I was able to get out of this hole relatively quickly. Thank you, God. And move on and share with you. I know I'm rambling. I feel it. We'll see you guys in the next video. Adios, friends. Adios, friends. That's cute, Noah. Freaking anxiety, man.